If you like what you see, don't forget to smash that like button, share it, or subscribe. For all the latest Atlas info, sign up for our newsletter, shop.atlasrr.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And most importantly, enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Matt Mosikas here, and I'm joined by Ross, my great associate, and we're going to go over the Atlas 100th Anniversary HO, N, and Z Scale Fall Volume 7 catalog for 2024. Our last HO, N, and Z catalog of this year. Next time will be 2025. So
this unveils at Trainfest. We're going to have the actual copy at Trainfest this weekend in Milwaukee. So we're pretty excited.
Yeah, very excited. And dead giveaway on the cover. Got some much anticipated products, including the PSC Caboose, former Trueline trains with some revisions made to it, and as well as a couple all new tooling products, the HO beer can. That's awesome. People have been clamoring for those forever. And N-scale CNCF box car and FA1 with large number boards on it and N-scale. So plenty of exciting new products, and we'll just dive right into it for you guys. And the first new product, the N-scale SD45 with a new release. The first production came in, like a month ago? Something like that.
So, yeah, maybe like a month, 2 months.
2 months, and did very well, very popular. So we're back at it with another run. We have C&W, Chicago Northwestern. They operated a huge fleet of SD45s. And a lot of the Chicago Northwestern SD45s were from Conrail, directly below it. Conrail wasn't crazy about the fuel, the miles per gallon that the SD45s used. They were just very thirsty locomotives.
As a background, high horsepower, but with that came a very high fuel consumption.
Yeah, 16 cylinders isn't always better. So Conrail, they prefer the straight 40 over the 45s, so they sold them off to various roads, but C&W was the largest buyer by far. And underneath that, we have a Great Northern with the Hustle Muscle included. And then we have the standard Great Northern. Guilford with Springfield Terminal. I believe they had 3 of these.
Yeah, not many. There were just a few, like a handful or less.
Yeah, they were N&W leftovers. And then we have Santa Fe. It's another big operator of the SD45s. Southern, that's going to be cool. And the Tuxedo paint scheme. And we have Union Pacific with dependable transportation on the cab. It's one of my favorite Union Pacific schemes.
Now, again, these come with the soundtracks, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
So your gold version of these will have soundtracks included. And then another loco around here. Got the C420s.
N-scale C420s. They're back. It's been a little bit since we've done them, but we're going to run through these. So we have the Conrail X Lehigh that's actually Lehigh and Hudson River.
Yes.
Lehigh and Hudson River. We have the D&H and the XLV scheme, which is a very popular scheme that we call it the crusty engines of the office, and this is one of those crusty engines we have to have. So we like it. I like it, so you should like it. So we have Detroit and Mackinac in the Bicentennial, which is a really popular scheme. The red, white, and blue, it just really resonates with a lot of modelers there, no matter where you are in the country. So Detroit and Mackinac's Bicentennial was pretty flashy, so we liked it. By popular demand, we have the Nickel Plate Road and its attractive yellow and black scheme. We have the N&W and the Hamburger Blue scheme, which is actually one we've never done before. We have the Apache, and is the blue scheme of the Apache the original, right?
Yeah, the blue and silver.
Yeah, blue and silver.
From the 70s?
Pretty cool. Yeah, like 70s, kind of like that's an early scheme before they went on to the kind of the green and silver. We have the L&N family lines. another notable C420 owner, 3 road numbers there. And then we have the other Apache, which is the 82 and the 83, different phases. So we marked that as a separate road number there. We have the Conrail Erie Mining, which is pretty popular. FUS, because I'm not going to try to pronounce that right now, but we'll just call it FUS. That's a popular Mexican road name.
I think it translates in English into Railroad of Southern Mexico.
Yeah, Railroad of Southern Mexico, but
something
FUS for short.
Similar to that.
Yes. And then the ever popular NDAM, which is a really attractive scheme. And again, never done that before. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, the NDM is going to do really well.
I think the FUS too. I mean, they're both really flashy, but pretty cool.
Most of the people watching this aren't probably familiar with Mexico model railroading or rail fanning, but it's very strong. It's a very popular hobby in Mexico, and we actually do quite a lot of business with NDM road names and stuff like that. And it's just looking at the history of it and the color guide. It's really fascinating stuff. They had locomotives and cars from all types of builders, and it was a mixed match. So they have interesting prototypes, and we enjoy making them as models.
Yeah, more often than not. I mean, if there's an Alco, there's probably a Mexican road name there.
A
lot of them went down there. It's pretty cool. Like there's still some around. So
same thing with the big old GEs. A lot of Bs and Cs were purchased by NDM. And, just whatever the North American railroads didn't really like tended to get sold off to Mexico.
I guess so.
So all those Alcos and GEs with the. And speaking of Alcos, we got a new tool, and this one's unique because it's basically the head end is all new. We did so the former Lifelike model only had the small style squared off number boards. These are the big plush rounded edges number board styles. So these are I don't want to say we just did an FA1 run, but an FA1 run just came in earlier this year. And this one's different from that because unlike Pensy and Lehigh, New England, actually, they don't have those square. It's big rounded number boards. And it's, unique for these roads. So it's prototypically correct. We have Spoke Oak, Portland, and Seattle. And then we have Canadian Pacific. I love the stripes on the Canadian Pacific.
Yep.
High visibility nose. It's very cool. And
the
Great Northern in that classic scheme. As well as Mopac, Missouri Pacific, as delivered scheme. That's their kind of transition, late 1940s, or mid 50s, that transition era scheme. Spokane, Portland, and Seattle again with the first one was actually, that was a Burlington Northern patch. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. Which was kind of like the lazy way of making a Burlington Northern.
Yeah, but it's a cool way because BN didn't really repaint any of these.
Nope.
They used them for a few years when they had their merger, and then they promptly scrapped them off. And below the SPNS, we have Sioux Line as delivered transition era scheme as well. And then we keep the theme rolling with those transition era schemes with Union Pacific, and we have the baby wings and that anti-glare green on the hood of the nose. So the crews that are running through the desert weren't getting blinded by the sun.
Super notable, just the little things there,
really
make the scheme unique, like the green anti-glare.
Yeah, no, that's a class. That's a staple for Union Pacific. Yeah. No, so solid lash up of road names for this first FA1 with large number boards. And of course, to accompany these, we have the B units. So we have Canadian Pacific with the Pac-Man, Great Northern, Missouri Pacific, everything except BN.
Yeah, everything except BN.
BN, if they did, by the time the B units were already gone, really, by the time the BN merger happened. And then we move on to our N-scale rolling stock.
Our ever-popular CNCF, but this time in N-scale, which is a new model for us.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. These things, along with the FMCs that we do, these things went literally everywhere. So we're going to start with the Ann Arbor, a great scheme. I love it. It's great. We have the Canadian Pacific XMCSA, three road numbers there. Columbus and Greenville. Ferromex, which was super popular in HO scale, so we have to bring it to N scale. And then we have I'm going to totally butcher this. Well, it's NDAM, but we'll just say NDAM.
Okay.
So I don't butcher it, because I am very known in the office for saying everything wrong. So I try not to say many things. So we have the original MCSA, which is the Moscow, Camden, and St. Augustine. And then we have the Rock, because we're big Rock Island fans, and it's famous bankruptcy blue.
Solid run.
That's a nice run there.
Give that project manager some kudos on that one.
Except for, yeah, I guess so.
It was
know which road name I like, but we're just going to move on.
Oh, New Open Ivyland?
Nope. We need more McHugh brothers.
We'll get that in. Maybe in the comments section, if anybody knows the origins of the Ann Arbor logo and what it's supposed to be, that'd be really cool to hear.
Right. I call it the mouse. Like, to me, it looks like one of those like old 90s computer mouse, but it's not. Like,
it looks like a computer mouse.
Right. But it's not a mouse.
I'm sure there's a sensible explanation for how they came up with that.
Yeah, why it looks like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. And then if you ever, like, anytime you see NDM, Ross, just National Railways of Mexico.
NDM.
And yeah. I like saying it in English. It's easier for me. And
Mercales Nacionales de Mexico. See, I could do it.
You can do it. You sounded authentic saying it too.
There you go.
Great. All right. More boxcars.
Boom.
So we have the N-Scale Atlas Master General American RBL, which is a really, really, really nice car. This is based on the Moloko HO scale Big Brother. So Nick Moloko, he did his in HO, and we collaborated, and ours is the N-Scale version. Tons and tons of separately applied parts on this car. Really, if you're a 1960s, 70s, 80s modeler, I highly encourage you pick up one of these cars. It's really, really nice car. And good road names to go along with it. We got Burlington Northern. Was that Chicago Great Western with the C&W merger? And then right next to it, you got the Origin version, Chicago Great Western, with their meatball and DF cushion artwork on there. Rio Grande, that's just a beautiful car, the orange and silver.
Did it actually look like that? Like, that's really what it looked like?
It looked like a train set car.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, they were just nice.
That's pretty neat.
And then after that, they started painting everything brown.
There we go. Brown box cars. We love it. There you go.
Not brown is the Gulf Mobile in Ohio. It's a cool one. And then we have Sioux Line with the Color Man mark. Cool marketing scheme they had. But no, these are really nice cars. So I encourage everybody. And speaking of nice cars, N-scalers love these.
Oh, well, I mean, really all scales love these, but the 40-foot rebuilt wall cars, these are so popular. And we are going to start with the TTX late repaint, which we have, I want to say, 4 road numbers, which is pretty awesome. We have the TPEX patch, which is also TTX, which is pretty cool. I like that we do a lot of patch outs here. It's like, if you see a freight car, they have patch outs. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And then we have the TTX early logo, which is super. Really, all of these are incredibly notable, but I remember the TTX early logo. So I'm not an N-scaler, but I might just have to pick up some of these.
Yeah, and these etched metal walkways and everything, really fine details on these cars.
And in an amazing effort for cross-selling, we actually say our previously announced 40-foot standard height containers they just happen to be an amazing fit for these wall cars. Isn't that crazy? So you should get out there and get some containers for your wall cars, because who wants to run an empty train?
Nobody. And I know we have some refrigerated containers in stock right now, and
we do.
I think we might have some standard ones too, but I could be wrong. But the next run's arriving really soon.
Yep.
So we'll have
moving right along, we have our 53-foot rebuilt wall cars. These go hand in hand with the 40-footers. But for my guys down there in Florida, we have Florida East Coast. Yes, at Atlas, we love the FEC. I love the FEC.
Big fans.
Beautiful blue. Big fans.
And these cars travel all around the country.
Oh, yeah. They do, really. Like, it's incredible. Like, you can see FEC up this way. You can see it out west. really wherever you are. We have the TTX Next Load Any Road, which I love that tagline. Like every time it's like Next Load Any Road.
Yeah,
It's
that goes all the way back to like the founding days of it too.
Right. Yeah. Wasn't that like the Penske flats and stuff and all that?
That was like the Penske marketing blurbage for when they first did Trailer Train.
Well, the Penske didn't do many things right, but you know what? Next Load Any Road is pretty cool. Coming from the CNJ guy, just saying. So TTX yellow, standard yellow, we love that. And then Matt, from your great ideas book here, isn't this the Pacer Stack Train?
I can't take credit for this one. This is a Steve.
Right.
Steve alternate history car, which is pretty cool because Pacer's Stack Train, usually they got 3-unit sets.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a play of like, what if they decided to look into standalone cars? And this is pretty much what they would have ordered if they did.
It's incredibly plausible. Like, it's the next thing that they probably would have done if they wanted to.
Pretty much. I mean, a lot of people have moved to the articulated cars are great because they have higher capacity, but they're a lot more maintenance on the railroads.
Right. And if you have a problem with one, you got to take all 3 out of service.
Yeah.
And that's not efficient.
And then you're taking up, like 120 feet of a siding or something, like, whatever.
Right.
It's a lot of space too.
But just like our 40-footers, our containers will also fit for these cars. So please go out and find yourself some containers, because who wants to run an empty train?
Doesn't look right without the containers.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's all about the containers.
On to some tanks.
Tank cars. And this is a classic Atlas model, the 23-5 tank car. It's based off a ACF design, American Car and Foundry. And we have a bunch of road names here. I can't tell you what the AMXH. I don't have the hard. Ross, you got the hard copy in front of you. You can help me out. What's the reporting mark?
AMOX.
Is that AMCO? That might be.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah,
probably.
I won't. I'll forgive you for that. But
yeah, and then I'm pretty sure it's AMCO.
Yeah,
and then we have ExxonMobil, which is another gasoline oil refiner. ACF, that's a leaser.
Mm-hmm.
ACF White, another leaser. Nice variety in this run. The ADM Leaf, I know that's going to be probably a top seller of this run. So many people model ADM facilities on their layouts, or it's just ADM they're a grain processor, and it's such an easy industry to model.
Oh yeah.
So I know a couple of other manufacturers in the hobby make specific ADM kits and ADM cars, and they're a big time industry. And then what do we have underneath there?
GLNX.
Mm-hmm. That's a private owner. That's a cool one. It's not solid black. It's a faded black we're going to do on this car. So you can see it's a little bit lighter than the rest. And when you have a train full of tank cars, and just like in real life, none are the same color. There's always fading and off colors that happen and stuff like that. And then we have AGP, which is American Grain Processors. That's a 1990s paint scheme. And they're still around. They have a modernized logo now, but that's their old 90s logo, and it's a pretty cool car.
It is. These are really nice cars. These will be fan favorites, and a lot of variation here, so we're pretty happy.
Yeah, and then we got one last box car. I know we have a lot of box cars in this catalog, but this is a transition era one.
Some brown. There we go, finally. So we're going to start with our Master 1932 ARA Box Car match project that I get to steal the thunder and talk about. So we're going to start with the Bangor and Aroostook, the notable state of Maine red, white, and blue. I mean, this is like it's like a super New England identity. Like everyone,
that's iconic in New England.
No one is. Yeah, it's great. And then we'll go to our Nice Plain Jane, Chesapeake, and Ohio with the CNO for Progress logo. Canadian Pacific with their beautiful script, which is like another iconic, beautiful script. Love it. And then MEC with the yellow door, one of my personal favorites. I mean, they're all my favorite. But
paper mill service.
Yeah, paper mill. I love it. And then we have the NDM, and Western Maryland.
I love throwing the NDMs at you.
I know. What is going on there? These are all pretty cool in the Western Maryland speed lettering, and that's really neat. And I think they have to get a bunch of these.
Quick story about the CNO is those were actually express cars that were later converted to freight service. So they had express trucks on them and all that. And then, the passenger industry kind of took a hit and they put them into freight and maintenance away and just became a normal box car on the CNO.
Wow, that's cool. Very neat.
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy I get to talk about this one because this is my colorful Trainman N-scale 5250 covered hopper. And it's going to make a lot of people happy because we have the Alaska Railroad. This is alternative history. It's just what an Alaskan Railroad modern day hopper would look like. Really cool to throw on your layout. It's got the conspicuity stripes on it, and all that data is off of other cars and is legit. And it's a nice alternative history artwork, in my opinion. And then we have legit ones such as BF Goodrich. That's really cool. The 1-800 number, Marin, Marin, Illinois. This is I forget the backstory entirely, but it's a town that has a lot of grain industry in it. So they kind of have a co-op in their town, and the co-op bought these hoppers for all those farmers in that town. Then we have another alternative history, CSX Grain Express. I lived in Florida for a long time, and I would see the old Grain Express hoppers and what's that service?
Couldn't tell you, but I know it's a different car.
Yeah, it's not pot. It's a messy powder.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, they would be all white and dusty anyhow, and they go back and forth from Florida to Chicago.
Like a starch.
Yeah. Yep. It's a mineral.
Lime?
Could be lime.
It could
I'm
be.
not sure. But they always use hoppers and alternative service down there, and a lot of the grain service ones were included on those trains. And then we have Pantasote Plastics. They were a big plastic pellet company back in the 1970s, along with Real Core Resins. These Real Core Resins hoppers were seen absolutely everywhere in the 60s and 70s. And then we have another, last but not least, a rerun of our Kansas City Southern Bell alternate history hoppers. And these are a great stand-in at a great price. Was it $20.95 or something?
$22.95.
$22.95. And can't forget Wonder Bread.
Yeah, Wonder Bread's the cool one. Shake and bake, baby.
Yep. That car is awesome.
I love that car.
Yeah, so for $22.95 MSRP, you get a lot of color for your bang for your buck.
That's right. Go out and get yourself one of these cars. If you ain't first, you're last.
Get 10 of them. They're so, I'm sure your dealer will mark them down a little bit more, and it's a great value.
It is. Oh, my gosh. And here's the HOC420. Here we go again. Oh, man. And then there's an end-to-end in this, isn't there?
It's the same as the N-scale run, but for the HO modelers that are going to skip ahead to the HO section, you might as well run through the names again.
We'll go through again. So we're going to start with Conrail, X Lehigh, and Hudson River.
There you go.
And then we have the notable in two different variations, the X LV D&H scheme, which if you grew up along the anthracite roads or in the Northeast, they ran like this for a pretty long time. So it's pretty cool. And Detroit and Mackinac is next. I know I'm going in order of the actual SKUs. Forgive me. But okay. Detroit and Mackinac, and it's red, white, and blue. Beautiful bicentennial. We have our popular demand nickel plate, black and yellow. We have our Norfolk and Western hamburger scheme, which we've never done before. The Apache in the blue and silver. And then we have the L&N family lines in 3 different road numbers. We have the Apache again, which is a different phase, as I said in the N-scale. Conrail, X Lehigh, and Hudson River, because Scott loves the Lehigh and Hudson River. Thank you, Scott. We have the Erie Mining in their beautiful maroon and yellow, which isn't actually that pretty, but they lasted a long time. Which you can probably still see one of these in Scranton, I'm pretty sure, right? Isn't there one still in Erie Mining?
I think there's one tucked away on their deadline.
Gross.
And Morristown and Erie had a bunch of their they weren't C420s, but they were
C424s.
Were they RS10s? Or they're chop nose?
Oh, yeah. The RS18s probably.
RS18? They're chop nose something.
Or RS11s, probably RS11.
Yeah.
But we don't do this. So.
No.
Not in this catalog. So we have the FUS, and it's amazing black, orange, and yellow, which I think is going to do the best. And then the second best is the end to M because Matt hates me and he keeps putting this in everything I talk about. But it's awesome. It's yellow, black, and orange, and you should get one because it's cool.
It's very cool.
It is very cool.
Speaking of very cool.
Yeah, right. But now you get the cool engine.
C420s are great, man.
Not like this, though. This is cool.
B23s with ditch lights. It's what everybody's been waiting for years and years and years. All these great late 90s, early 2000s schemes with ditch lights on them now. And we lead it off with one that it's probably still kicking around today.
Which is awesome.
As of 2022, they're still there. Mm-hmm. The Central Maine and Quebec Railways. We have a BNSF patch out, and we don't show the front end, but on the nose of this unit, there's a nice CMQ patch logo. So it's got some CMQ colors on it. Then, of course, because we did that, we have to do the origin one, the BNSF. So we got 2 truck styles on there, which is accurate for BNSF. And I have photos to go along with this, too. Tony Cook from White River Productions was nice enough to share.
There we go.
Yep. So there's 4230 with the ditch lights and all that good stuff on it.
And the regular GE trucks, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Very cool. And we have Conrail quality, which Tony was also nice enough to provide us a photo of. And This is we did Conrail quality in the past, but these are the versions with the Conrail Q a little bit higher up. So it's a different paint series, really, than the ones we've done previously. You'll notice that the Conrail quality Q is a little bit higher, which is correct according to the picture. You see the 2 different heights of the Qs in this picture. And then, of course, Norfolk Southern. Ours will have ditch lights on it. Will be the late 90s, early 2000s version. The picture Tony was able to gather for us doesn't have ditch lights on it, but our model will. It'll be a little bit later than this. This looks like a late 80s picture, which is still very cool. Hot shot freight with a big old G on the front. And then 2 very cool paint schemes near and dear to us New Jersey rail fans are the SMS lines. And we have 1900, which is in a gray primer with some basic SMS logos on it, which is cool by itself. And then what's really cool is SMS Lines did a Conrail Heritage unit, and they reuse Conrail font, Conrail stenciling, their text, and everything that's on SMS 1961. So these are 2 limited edition ones. If you want these and you really you must have them, please pre-order them. We build these to our order quantities exactly, especially for the limited edition ones. So it doesn't hurt to pre-order. A lot of dealers have no deposit down, no cancellation fee pre-orders. So there's going to be a lot of interest in these, and I guarantee you they're going to be hard to find once they come in.
And when you try to find them, I bet you they'll be way more expensive on eBay.
Yes. So it doesn't, if it comes in, you decide you don't want it, a lot of dealers will work with you, but it doesn't hurt to pre-order. And then we have B30s with ditch lights. All of these have ditch lights except Burlington Northern. Burlington Northern ones, only 1 row number of Burlington Northern got ditch lights. So we didn't do that in this round. We did the more popular non-ditch light versions. But the ditch light versions include CSX, which we have number 5555, the Spirit of Greenville. That's a cool one. Then we have another CSX, which is just a plain Jane. And then, of course, Southern Pacific speed lettering with ditch lights on it this go around.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and those speed lettering ones, they made it to a lot of secondary owners, too.
Yep.
Sport lines and B30s and B23s are just cool.
You see, these are big. These are like pocket Gs. I like the C30s, but that's another story for another time.
Fast freight, 4 axles.
That's right. So we will go
check out this coolness.
Special new beer can tank cars, which by the time of this premiering, we'll have some samples at Train Fest. So please come on down to the booth and check out our 3D printed samples because they're pretty awesome.
And I got before you go through the road names, I got a picture of that 3D printed sample.
Holy. And it rolls too.
It does. It's actually crazy fine, and
it rolls way too nicely. It literally rolled off the shelf.
It's insane what you can do with 3D printing now. But it's super fragile. That's the only negative of 3D printing. so if you go to Train Fest, please don't pick it up.
Do not touch. Read the sign. But they are pretty cool, so come check them out. So we're going to start with the Cargill GATX. We have the regular GATX. We have the Hercules HPCX. We have the Texaco TCX. And I am going to mess this up. It's Detrex, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Detrex. Boom. Learning. GATX. General Molasses GATX. And regular GATX again. And then Texaco in a different. So we're pretty excited about these. These are brand new models. Super new tooling. Very excited. And these are a must-have because these will fly off the shelves as well. So
yeah, and these are unique to like any tank car out there. I mean, I know our friends at Athearn have a beer can tank car, but it has flat ends, while ours has the rounded ends.
That's right.
And I'm going to have to pre-order some of these for my dad because he's a 1970s tank car nut. And these tank cars are great because it's 70s to 2000s, really.
Yep.
And a lot of long time frame these cars ran around.
Yeah, they're really cool. I mean, they're just like little shorties. Like, they're so neat. Like,
yeah, they're awesome. I love the shorty tank cars.
Yeah, the shorty tank car. There's something special on their own, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these. And that 3D sample was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. Thank you, Hans. Pretty awesome.
Speaking of awesome, Portec 3000, the second run.
Oh.
I know everybody was clamoring for Norfolk Southern and N&W in the first run.
Oh,
so
here it is.
We have listened, and we get two flavors of the Boston and Maine current day patch outs, starting with the AEQ leasing. I butchered that only because I can't see the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
UTEL leasing the AEQ XB&M. This is going to be a really expensive run for me.
It will be because a lot of these are on the NS trains that run by us.
Man.
Including that, I've seen multiple of the ones right in front of us on the Lehigh Valley line.
Oh, the Winchester Westerns.
Yeah.
We get there.
The Winchester and Westerns, the modern day one is really, really cool.
It's epic.
Chicago Freight Car Leasing, that's a cool one. And then what do you have there?
Chicago Freight Car Leasing, you have General American de Mexico. See how much easier that is to pronounce and read, you know?
Yeah, and then the rest of these are easy. It's Norfolk Southern, Norfolk and Western, and Winchester and Western.
Our guys in our Virginia and New Jersey, well, I mean, these things really went everywhere, but must have Winchester Western in the modern day. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for the people in the Northeast, though, this run is going to be expensive.
These go off to the Midwest, too, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
But I'm just off these road names. I know a lot of these are well, the General American of Mexico, that's like a Central in Mexico. But,
right.
Oh, man, you could talk about one of the cooler.
That's right. It's almost like I did that.
Big announcement of this catalog.
You can get your B23s, but I'm getting my PSC Caboose. Finally, at long last, the PSC Caboose is in a catalog, and we're going to talk about it right now. So we have three different – well, we're starting off with CN. There's three different flavors. There's a lot more that we want to offer, but we wanted to do these three CN ones to start, just so our Canadian modelers can kind of take a breather and not have to drop all that money on CN, right? So we'll start with the CN 3-panel COTS. We have the CN intermodal service with the yellow cupola. And then we have the CN international service, which has the white corner stripes. The quick story, these were former box cars, weren't they? Is that the story behind these? Or these were actually built, right? As Caboose?
No, they were box cars that got shopped into the Caboose.
These were box cars.
Yeah.
And that's why they're super funky. Some Canadian ingenuity right there.
Pretty much.
And it's pretty awesome. And you got to have Algoma Central, pronounce that right, with the bear logo. And my personal favorite, which is the Pew Lancaster and Western, the Genesee Valley Transportation sub-company in that beautiful kind of white and cream gray.
Kind of looks like the Alco demonstrator a little bit.
It's awesome. And when we found this, I was like, we have to do this. So thank you, Scott, for appeasing me and Matt.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yes, thank you for listening to us. I think this is going to do great.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, I'll buy 10. So we have the CBNS, the stay in school. I call it the Power of Knowledge stay in school caboose.
The Billy Madison car. Got a nice little prototype shop.
There we go.
Too.
CBNS 2000.
It was real. Yeah, it's very cool.
And then ending with the Babcock and Wilcox BAWX. The really cool thing about these caboose, I almost said box cars. The only thing about these cabooses, they're DCC ready. They do have lighting features. We have directional lighting, operating class lights, step lights, and inspection lights. I want to say that it has the ditch lights on either ends that work, but we'll see once we get a sample in. These are super cool. The X True Line tooling, much anticipated. Go out there. Please pre-order your cabooses, however you pronounce it, however you say it, because these will fly off the shelves. And we're super excited that these are finally in the catalog.
These are a pretty good price point, too, as well, right?
Isn't that crazy? So these are $89.95.
That's nuts.
Which is actually insanely nuts. Take advantage of that pricing while you can.
Yeah, they might not be this price, forever. So
probably not.
Order up.
There's a lot of technology in these. There's a lot of detail in these. We're very excited, and it's just about time. I remember I went to Springfield. What was that, like last year? And this thing, no, it was like 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. And this thing was sitting on the shelf in the booth.
Like, before you worked here?
Yeah, before I even worked.
Yeah. We showed it off when we acquired the
right.
Yeah.
Well, like, when's this gonna happen? The old Dr. Scott over there is like, I got some ideas. We got to see what we can do. So here it is in the catalog. We're super excited, and with the estimated third quarter arrival of 2025, you got to get on the train now, and you got to get the perfect thing to end your train, which is a PSC Caboose. Perfect. Elevator pitch over.
That was a great pitch. And then just like N scale, we have HO scale 23.5s. And we have AMCO, ExxonMobil, ACF in black, and ACF in white. So if you want ACF leasing, we got you in 2 colors. ADM, super popular as always. ADM Leaf with Conspix on it. Who does it? Everybody needs that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then the GLNX, which is off black. It's not the same black as the rest of them in the run. It's supposed to be more faded. And then we have AGP, American Grain Processors. I love that green and yellow logo on there. It's pretty cool.
That's iconic.
Yeah, if you're a 1990s modeler, those AGP cars were everywhere back then. So solid run of 23.5s. Nice tank car. Atlas had this model for a long time, and it's a nice model.
It's really nice. And here we're back. We're back to the 1932 ARA Box Cars. Again, a map project that I get to take the pleasure in talking about. And I'm going to act like it's my project because it's awesome. So we're going to start with the Bangor and a Roost deck. Bangor and a Roost deck.
You got it, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Bangor.
Bangor.
Let's say it like a truck driver. Bangor.
So the iconic red, white, and blue. You have to have this. It has the identity of New England, the spirit of New England, and we love it. We are going to the Chesapeake and Ohio CNO. That was a weird pronunciation. CNO for Progress. The X Express box cars, as Matt told me, that became standard box cars. We have the Canadian Pacific in the beautiful script, Main Central Potato Service.
Paper mill service.
Paper mill service.
Yellow door.
Well, actually, the potato service was the other one.
Yeah, potatoes were in the Bangor and a Rustic car.
Correct. Boom. Paper mill service, Main Central, which is super iconic. I mean, that's like another super like New England identity kind of car. We have the NDAM and the Western Maryland and their iconic striping and speed lettering. And that is a great run for another great price of $39.95. That's pretty awesome. There's some really good pricing in this one.
And that's a detailed car as well.
We got away with a lot in this one.
This is a cool one too.
Yeah, now you get to talk about this one. See, that's pretty exciting.
Yep, the aluminum coal guns, and I believe we're doing 3-packs for all of the. Yep, 3-packs.
Yes, sir. 3-packs.
Good. So we have BNSF and that Heritage Circle Cross logo scheme, which we surprisingly never did before. And then what do we have? Detroit Edison.
Yep.
And I only knew that because of the orange rotary end. Conrail quality. That's another one we never did before.
Are you serious? We've never done Conrail quality?
Nope.
That's tough to believe.
And what is First Union?
Yep.
Leasing. Kansas City Power and Light. That's another cool one. And then what's this last? I can't make it.
Wisconsin Electric Power Co.
Wisconsin Electric Power. So
yes.
These are all pretty popular road names. It's a pretty good run put together by our young project manager, Cody.
Our not intern anymore, but he's still an intern to me.
Yeah, he'll always be an intern in our hearts.
Grow up so fast.
Yeah, but no, great cars. I love them. They have enough detail for me.
I mean, they do really. Our Trainman line's pretty awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, all the molded in stuff is finally done, and it's 3-foot rule. Can't really tell. Speaking of 3 feet rules, and you can't really tell, Z-scale.
Oh, trains with a magnifying glass.
Yes.
The Evans plug door, box car, double door, it's back. Here we go. So we're pretty excited to offer this again in different schemes, and we'll start with the Alaska Railroad in the awesome blue and yellow, which we love the Alaska Railroad, and we're super happy to put it into a run. We have the Boston and Maine in that iconic blue with the super – I don't even know the name of that logo they use, but it's like when you think of Boston and Maine other than the Minuteman, that's it.
That's it. That's Boston and Maine for you.
There they are. There they go. So the Illinois Central, awesome orange. We have the Ralston Purina, sure, pretty awesome.
For your dog.
For your dog. The dog. The Bend Millwork. And I like that one. It's got the cool trees on it. And then one that's near and dear to us is the Georgia Pacific. And it's awesome green. And I love this this picture we have at the bottom with the coin is super funny. I laugh every time.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting in Steve's office right now, who's our resident Z-scaler, and he has one right conveniently right next to me from the first run, and it's a nice car.
Z-scale
wheels.
The only thing you have to worry about is dust blowing your plane, you know?
Yeah. No, very nice car, die-cast underbody, nice details. Yeah, these are nice.
It's a really nice car, and we're very excited to be into the Z-scale land, and plenty more in store for the Z-scalers. So
who knows? More on the horizon.
Who knows?
No, we're about Z-scale. Z-scale is cool.
Yep.
And then that completes it for our 2024 Fall Train Fest Edition HON and Z catalog. As always, we have a great track in stock. If you're going to be building a layout this winter, please consider Atlas Track. It's readily available. It's robust, reliable, time-tested. We've been around for 100 years. 100 years of quality service and products, and just, you can't beat Atlas Flex Track.
So, 21st century nickel silver. You gotta love it.
Highly, highly recommended.
And our layout packages. In the next video, if that happened before or after, we'll actually explain the layout packages, but we have an awesome offer for you, which we'll talk about in the next video. But we have tons of layout packages available for the layout of your dreams with our 21st century nickel silver track for this holiday season. Why not build a layout, right?
Why not?
Come on.
Winter is long and dark. Might as well do something.
And what that shining light, that should be your layout package from Atlas Model Railroad Company.
And if you're going to do that, scan the QR code right now, and you can check out all the awesome track and accessory products we have.
Yeah, we're in the 21st century like our track is. We have QR codes and catalogs now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, all that
but
good stuff.
Please go ahead, scan the QR code. Thanks for watching us. This catalog is due, and I want to say January 8th, 2025. Please get those pre-orders into the dealer distributor of your choice. There's a lot of hot items in here for great prices, and they're going to fly off the shelves, and no one wants to be reverse Santa Claus and say your trains aren't available. So please go out.
I hate saying that.
I know. It's actually the worst, but, it is what it is. But go out and get your trains. We have tons of cool items. That's all I got. Thanks for joining us. Matt, what do you got?
I got nothing else. You did
all right.
Great job.
Oh, thanks.
All right. See y'all later.
See you later.
Now.